Welcome to Pitch It Good.
Hello.
Paul, how cool was our live show at the Museum of Comedy?
It was class. I had a blast.
I did. It was
great.
It was great. It was warm.
Yeah, it was about 4 billion degrees on stage.
It was live from the centre of the earth. It was a warm day. But thank you so much for everyone coming out. I mean, we felt pretty loved.
Yeah, I felt loved.
Loved.
And then we made love afterwards.
We did. It was disgusting. It stank. Hey, so how you doing, Paul? You good?
I'm very well, yes. Yeah.
Good.
I've seen a few films because it's been a couple of weeks since we did the live show.
Oh, what have you seen? Just pick one.
But yeah, as I say, rather than boring everyone with my piss poor movie reviews. Yeah.
Analysis.
Yeah. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, is it good?
I loved it, but I am very biased in that, like a massive X-Men fan, so I was going to probably love it regardless. It's too long. I'll give it that.
Oh, too long?
Yeah. I think you can cut a good 20 minutes out of it.
Thing is, I've seen a few clips of it, and I'm a bit put off because it looks like a bit of like a millennial fap. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I don't think it's quite like that.
It's like, oh my God, he sung the song sort of thing.
I will say it feels like you need like a PhD level knowledge of all the old superhero films to really get all the jokes.
So you enjoyed it then?
So I had a great time, but my wife hadn't got a fucking clue. You seen anything?
I did. I watched Bank of Dave.
Oh, nice. That's enough, yeah.
And I absolutely loved it. In my opinion, there isn't enough films with that much Def Leppard in it. Absolutely great band. I'd watch it just for the Def Leppard, and I loved it.
The guy who plays the guy in Bank of Dave, the main actor, I can't bloody remember his name, which is ironic. I think he's really underrated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like he's
that everyone?
Yeah, whenever he pops up in something, I'm like, hey, it's that guy.
Oh, it's that guy. Underrated.
Yeah.
3 stars.
He's great in a lot of things. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad. Well, thank you very much for that insight. But what else have you been doing this week?
Yeah, I've been pretty busy. I've been in Le Paris.
Le Paris.
Yeah, helping out with the old Olympics.
Oh, the Olympics.
Yeah, helping out with the mostly with the Australian team.
Okay.
It didn't all go well.
No.
Yeah.
Which particular athlete were you training?
It was the breakdance.
It was the
breakdance.
breakdance.
It was the breakdancing. Well, yeah.
Ray gun.
Yeah, I did lie on my CV.
Yeah.
And it didn't go too well.
No.
They said they would pay me on performance.
Okay.
So I did only get... How much money have we made? I've completely forgotten. £74. I don't know.
£74. 74 euros.
Euros, yeah.
Euros, Le Paris. Right, so 74 euros. And Paul, you're cash hot.
Time rich.
And what do you want to do with your £74?
I'd like to make a movie.
Of course you do, like we do every single week. And of course, we are just the money men. Barely can start a podcast. It's like Marge Simpson. Right, so, but obviously, so we need help. We need help in more ways than one. But particularly to bring in to help us come up with a film, we've brought in a really, really funny comedian. Absolute legend. Go see him on the circuit. Mr. Roman Harris.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
Mate.
I'm great. It's great to be here in the studio with you guys, man.
It's lovely and air conditioned, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the main reason. The air conditioning. It's got nothing to do with you two or your presence. No, it's
a fridge.
It's lovely. It's lovely. This is pretty cool. I just want to say off the top, when you started talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, I was over here with a clenched arsehole because I was like, no spoilers, please. Like, I'm going on Sunday, and I'm like, I don't want any spoilers.
Yeah, so obviously, partly reason I had to go see it like the day it came out, because even like 2 days later, I've got people texting me being like, "Oh, have you seen it already? I'm sure you've seen it. Did you like the bit where?"
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've seen it. Yes, cheers.
I just got you like this image of you running down the street in your little Spider-Man costume and your lunchbox to go.
Again, my wife loved that too.
I was about to say she was dressed as, but what Spider-Man doesn't have.
She's just like a normal human woman.
Taking a child to the cinema. Have you watched any films though, Roman?
Films. I have watched a film, and I've also watched. I'm watching a series at the moment called The Bear.
The Bear.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus, and it's about a guy who starts a restaurant.
Oh yeah.
I hate the show, but I keep watching it.
It's tough watching.
But it's a tough watch, right? Yeah. It's just a really annoying show, and all people do is argue in it. But let's put that to one side, because genuinely, I shouldn't give it any airtime. But I have watched a movie. I watched a movie called Challengers.
Challengers?
Yes.
Ooh.
It's with Zendaya.
Zendaya.
where she plays a tennis
Yes,
player.
I've heard of this.
You've
Yeah.
heard of this?
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched this movie, and honestly, if I'm being 100% honest with you, I watched it just for Zendaya.
Yeah.
Like it gets some saucy scenes in that movie.
Saucy tennis, a lot of back and forth.
A lot of back and forth, you know, a lot of backhand, a lot of top spin. You get what I mean?
Bit of 30 love.
Dirty love. But no, it was a good movie. It's a good movie, and she's very sexy, and I enjoyed watching it.
I love the idea. You halfway through describing, you're like, I actually don't know what happened in that film.
No, you know what? Like, look, now I'm going to try and redeem myself and say the directing was just very, just really good directing in the movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but she starts sleeping with two tennis players and putting them off each other or something.
Yeah,
like
it's kind of like she's kind of playing both of them to some degree, and she's using one of them to try and get her husband to play better. And stoke a bit of the rivalry, between the two of them, because they both wanted to be with her. But nevertheless, like I must say, very entertaining, quite gripping. And they do this particular thing in the movie where at one point it's really good camera work, but they actually like shoot it from the viewpoint of the tennis ball.
Oh, cool.
So when they're playing tennis and they're whacking the ball, it's like you're the ball going back and forth, and I was like, well, that was great, but more Zendaya, please.
I thought that made me a bit queasy.
I'm imagining it's just the position of the ball and not the rotation of the ball.
Yeah,
That's what I'd say. Like,
whoa.
It's a really great bit where I throw up halfway through the film.
yeah, I threw out my spaghetti bolognese.
Oh, bless.
Oh, well, great. Glad you enjoyed sexy tennis and
Better title.
much better title.
sexy tennis. I mean, but you've obviously come in to pitch us a movie.
I have indeed.
So, Roman, what is the genre of your movie?
So it's a sports movie.
Sports movie,
Yep.
excellent.
It's
Sexy
called
tennis.
Sexy Tennis.
We'll get the title at the end.
No, I'm
'Cause
just.
it might change.
I'm kidding. Actually, I'm genuinely kidding. It's not a sports movie. I was just using that as a callback. My movie it's a thriller.
Oh, thriller.
/ crime drama.
Ooh, / crime drama.
/ detective mystery type vibe.
Sick.
Wow.
Yeah, but there is also comedy in it. But the comedy is not like forced or like it's just funny deaths.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, so there's like that's the kind of vibe I'm looking at. But yeah. That's what I have. Because I really love detective movies like Zodiac, and I really enjoyed watching like Luther when that was on TV. Luther was my thing.
I rewatched all of that recently to watch the movie, and then by the time I finished the show, I was like, I'm a bit done with it now. So I haven't seen the film.
and that's understandable because it's a lot to take in if you're watching all the series. And with the film, I mean, look, I might meet Idris one day. So, but what I'll say is the series are better than the film, in my opinion. Sorry, Idris.
He listens. He listens.
Cut that.
He writes me after every episode.
I'm sure he does.
Stop name dropping me.
Oh, bless. Yeah, so I like a detective drama. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna try that. Oh, with a little bit of supernatural.
Oh,
A
supernatural.
little bit of the
okay,
supernatural.
I like this.
Love
This
a
is good.
ghost.
Yeah, we've got so many ghosts.
Has that been a common theme? A lot of people coming here with ghost stories.
Yeah, it comes a lot of ghost. Yeah.
It's a good way of painting yourself out of a corner.
It really is.
How do you explain that? Ghosts, mate.
Ghost. Yeah.
Ghost.
Yep. How did he walk through that wall? Ah, well,
Ghost.
Ghost. Love it. All right, I might hold on to that as an ace to put in the back pocket, just in case this pitch
Keep that ghost up your sleeve.
goes south. Yeah, we'll see.
And where is your movie set?
My movie is set in Leeds.
Leeds.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Leeds. We've not had Leeds yet.
Yeah,
No.
it's set in Leeds, and I know literally nothing about Leeds,
No.
right? But I thought to
one
myself, listen, this is my movie, and I'm going to branch out and try new things.
Yeah.
But also
Not learn about those things.
not learn about it. No, look, why do that? I'm just gonna say them. But no, yeah. So I thought, but it does tie in to the whole plot and some of the ideas and character. So yeah.
Does the detective have leads? Is that what
Oh,
it is?
I tell you what, that's why you get paid the big bucks.
That's one of the best, Timothy. So good.
Stupid. Okay. So Robert, so when is this set?
So it's set in so I didn't really think specifically about the time and place. I was thinking, you could easily just go present day, but I feel as though if we go 1990s. That might give us a little bit more to work with in terms of nostalgia. Yeah. Before social media, and and I might regret that decision as we progress.
The further you go back, the more plausible it is that people get away with things.
Well, this is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
We should remind you do have a time machine. So if there's anything in the future you'd like to bring back, you are more than happy to use it.
I like the sound of that.
There you go.
If Instagram could help with catching this killer, then I can just bring that back to the 90s.
One person has Instagram in 1990. I've got no mates. This is rubbish.
I posted this picture ages ago and no likes. What is going on?
Just MySpace Tom. That's all it is.
All right, sweet. So I got a time machine also. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, you can use it. You put actors in the time machine, bring on younger, older versions of them. All sorts. It's very versatile.
I like it. All right. That sounds good. In that case, that makes me feel a lot more relaxed.
Good. That's what we want.
Yeah, because I really want this £74 that you've earned from teaching that ridiculous breakdancing to that Australian.
That wasn't the routine I told her to do.
Oh, for the camera, Paul.
Do you remember that episode where Paul broke his neck?
I love it. Right. Okay. So how do we open this film?
Okay. So basically, we start in France. All right. Now, I know you didn't see that coming because it's set in Leeds, right? But we start in France, and Detective Pierre Deja, right? Pierre Deja, he's sat in his Paris apartment, and there's just cigarette smoke, and we pan to loads of cigarettes that have already been smoked and put out in an ashtray, and there's wine all over the place, and he's just a disheveled individual. He's just sitting there put down, right? So we start we start
delicately avoiding all the cliches there.
He's got onions, stripy jumper. Oh,
there's just baguettes everywhere. For some reason, there's no other food items. Just cheese and baguettes.
Yeah. And he's playing an accordion. Just
yes.
So it's Pierre Deja.
Pierre Deja.
Deja.
Yeah, Deja.
And
Deja.
Deja.
I'm very specific on the spelling. I don't want you to don't mess this up over there. This is my vision.
I've got Pierre Deja.
Right.
And who plays Pierre?
Okay, now. This is who plays Pierre. I want Vincent Cassel to play Pierre, right? Because I think Vincent Cassel, he has one of those faces where you're like, yes, you're serious, but at the same time, I got a feeling you could do a little bit of comedy too. Because his face looks like a caricature. Yeah, it looks like it was molded and sculpted. As you can tell, I've spent a lot of time thinking about Vincent Cassel.
Vincent Cassel's sculpted face.
Now, I've done this before where I've been very confident I know who the actor is and then completely throw myself off. Okay. Is Vincent Cassel the guy from Ocean's 12? Ooh. Who does the lasers?
See, I don't know if he was in Ocean's 12.
Okay.
The movie I know him for is a movie called Eastern Promises. And he was in that movie with Viggo Mortensen. What's another movie he was in? Oh, man. I should just show you a picture of him. Everyone's listening to this right now going, how could you not know who Vincent Cassel is?
This is supposed to be a film podcast.
Right.
To be fair, I don't know who he is. No, I don't know who any of the actors are that any of the guests are.
Who the fuck is Brad Pitt?
Works down a mine, apparently.
No. To be fair, I don't think he's that well known in terms of by name, but when you see his face, you're like, that guy. Yeah. But anyway, let's just imagine you both know who he is because your knowledge of movies is amazing.
I'm gonna confidently picture the guy I think it is in my head, and everyone at home might think I'm an idiot.
So what he was in? Oh, he was the guy you're thinking of was in Ocean's 12. What did he do with the laser bit? What describe the scene?
There's like a bit where he's like a cat burglar or something, and they're trying to steal something, and there's this. It's the classic
Cat burglar.
He is a cat burglar. He is a cat burglar. And he basically like break dances through loads of lasers.
Yeah.
It's a really cool thing.
It's a weird scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's him.
It's him.
Yeah.
Vincent Cassel.
I was
Ocean's
about to say we're
12.
doing points now.
Yeah.
Well, let's introduce points. How many points have I got so far? I like a competition. No,
You get -1 points for all the French racism.
what are you talking about?
He's from Czechoslovakia.
no.
So we've got Pierre Dejar, who's played by Vincent Cassel, a chiseled, and he's Vincent Cassel, and he's been chain smoking, drinking, eating cheese, eating baguettes, the whole shebang.
That's right. And he's been doing all the French stuff, and basically. Look, there's something that gives you an inkling as to why he's so disheveled in this moment, right? And we basically see a letter from the French police.
Oh, gendarme.
Is that what they're called?
I hope so.
Jean Don is actually one of the other characters.
Yeah, I've got him down here in my list of characters. Right? How did you know? How did you know, Jim?
That's his superior officer.
So we've got a letter from the police.
Letter from the police force saying suspended. It says suspend in French, but it sounds like that.
I was about to say, what does that mean in English?
It's a pay rise, actually.
He just made it wrong and got really upset about it.
God damn, I don't speak French.
I got all of this wine and baguettes, but I can't speak the language. What did
I never learned to read?
Oh,
suspended. It says at the top of the letter.
Suspended. Right. And we don't know why just yet, but you know, and he's disheveled. Policing and being a detective is his life, and he's been suspended.
Oh no.
So that's how we open.
Okay.
All right. But there's another co-character who is also a lead in this movie. All right.
Yeah.
And that character is based in Leeds.
He's in Leeds.
Right.
Our second lead.
Yeah, our second lead. All right, yeah. Our second lead in Leeds, and they're going to get some leads. So the title of this movie is very rapidly changing in my head to just Leeds.
That's how we like it.
So open on Samantha Brew.
Samantha.
I don't know who that is. Oh, is that the character?
That's the character.
Sorry.
Yeah. that would explain why you have no idea who she is.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say Samantha Mumba.
Wow, how did she get cast in this movie?
So Samantha Brew.
Samantha Brew is the name of the character.
Okay, so the name of the character who plays Samantha Brew?
She's played by Zoe Kravitz.
Nice.
Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah.
Nice on many levels.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Zoe Kravitz plays Samantha Brew, all right, and obviously she's got a Yorkshire accent, but it's a really bad one because she's just not skilled on the level of playing this character like with the accent.
How does that sound, Roman?
So she's like, "Oh gosh, what we're doing today, man? Governor, get over here. Look at this crime scene." She's got Scottish roots.
Scottish roots?
She's got like, you know, she's a mix, like Scottish.
She sure is.
Irish.
Yeah.
Raised in Yorkshire, so it's not, you can't pin it down. But she's well travelled. Yeah.
Now, far be it from me to cast the first stone, but that was fucking piss poor.
Oh, God, that was good.
That was brilliant.
We'll work out the kinks as we go along, you know?
Okay, so she's got a Yorkshire accent.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
And what's she up to?
So Samantha Brew, she comes from a long line of detectives, right, in her family. So the Brews are well known in Yorkshire. Her father was a detective, his father yet still was a detective. But the thing is, she wanted to become a detective also, and they were like, love is a glass ceiling, love. You can't do what we do, right? So
She's like, pardon?
is this at this stage? Is this podcast just offensive to everybody?
Yeah.
All right, don't worry. There'll be a Jamaican man in there later, so everyone's getting representation.
You can do that.
Might give that one a wide swerve.
Anyway. So she's basically come from and a lot of misogyny in the family, right? Because the Brews, they have a special superpower, as does Pierre Deja, right? So I didn't mention this, but Samantha Brew, whenever she has a cup of Yorkshire tea, she can see the past.
Ooh.
Right? The problem... I don't know whether or not you're going to pick up on my idea. This pitch, I've got people laughing way too much at my pitch. So yeah.
I'm sorry, I just envisioned that because she always reads a book when she's drinking a cup of tea. I can see the past.
Just reading the Guinness Book of Records, 1989.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So every time she drinks, that's a hell of a northern superpower.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a catch. Right. Yeah. So basically, all of her male counterparts in the family, they didn't think she could do the job because they didn't think she had the power of the brew. but once they realized what happened was, right, because she can see the past, she had a sip of this tea and she walked into her parents' bedroom and she was able to discover that her mum was having an affair. Right. Ooh. And when she told her dad, that's when her dad started believing in her. And was like, oh, you do have the power, all right? And that's when he was like, I want you to follow in my footsteps, you know? So it took that to happen. So that's like go to the backstory of like the origin.
Yeah. Complex set of emotions all hitting you at once. Oh, man. You've got the Wait, what did you say?
Firstly, you're drinking a lovely cup of tea. Yeah. Right? You're on enough there.
So the catch really is that when she has the tea, she can see the past, right? So she can figure out things that have happened in a particular space. She can walk into a room and know what took place there. But the tea has an effect of turning her into a bit of a narcoleptic. So as soon as she drinks it, she falls asleep.
Yeah.
And that's a problem for a detective. Right?
Yeah.
Now, what I forgot to mention to you about Pierre Deja, okay?
Yeah.
Is that Pierre, on the other hand, can see the future.
Oh, love this.
He dreams the future. Problem is, he's an insomniac. So...
We'll take the piss, but that's generally quite cool.
Right?
It's cool.
So they both could. This is the quandary that we find ourselves in with Pierre Deja and Samantha Brew.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we're at with our two main characters. Any questions?
The most yin and yang leads.
Yeah, I like it. Are they somehow? Is there like an origin story? Are they like magically linked somehow?
Right, now this is the thing. I love this. You see, right now, everyone out there who's listening, I know you're wanting to know the same answer to the question. Now, thing is, right? Pierre's mother is British.
Okay.
And she used to love drinking Yorkshire tea. So when he gets suspended, he says to himself, look, I just need a break. And I'm going to go to the origin place of my mother. And I'm going to spend some time there and just smell that Yorkshire air. Just sniff people.
Sniff people.
Yeah. I'm just going to go there. What do you smell like? But no, he said,
can he look to... I assume he's alone in his apartment. Just look straight down the barrel of the lens and be like, I need a brew.
I like it, right? And as soon as he says that, we cut to Samantha. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, so he says, I'm going to go there and I'm just going to take a little break. He arrives in Yorkshire, and at this point in time, there's a string of murders taking place. All right. Ooh. It is bad. It's getting to
it's Leeds.
Yeah. It's Leeds. Dirty Leeds, right?
Every day.
but yeah, so I'm gonna deactivate my Instagram account after this. But so basically, so he gets to Leeds, and it just so turns out that there's a serial killer on the loose. Yeah, and this serial killer, it's really strange because all the people that he's killing from the investigations, he's doing this, or the person, should I say, is doing this, because we don't know who it is just yet. But the person is doing this through entertainment, because all of the people, they always are found with a big smile on their face, like they're happy, like they're like, like I've just been entertained. They got perforated. That's what I look like when I was just right? So they got big smiles on their face and they got perforated eardrums, right? So they're being entertained to death.
Yeah.
But they all know it's the same person, because after the killing, a little bit of tea is sprinkled on them.
Oh.
Yorkshire tea.
Nice.
Yorkshire tea.
And they have labeled this serial killer the Yorkshire Sipper.
That's one of my favourite names of the show.
Right?
The Yorkshire Sipper.
Right? We're warming up now, right?
I'm into this.
I love the idea that all the police are like, "No, Steve, I've got a fucking great name. It's not. It's a little on the nose." Yorkshire Sipper.
I don't want to make light of the situation.
They'll crucify us in the press, but we've got to go with it.
Right?
It's the 90s.
It's the 90s. Yeah, you can get away with that. You know what I mean? Daily Star's still around and all of that. You know, it's the 90s.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's all kicking off. You know?
So the Yorkshire Sipper is our serial killer sprinkling tea leaves on the entertained dead.
100%. This is what's happening.
Cool.
Right? So this is what's happening, and it's all, everyone's just running all around. Like, people are worried now. People are like, "Oh no, what's going on?" But the thing is, what's also really worrying is that the Yorkshire Sipper, he's not just out to kill people. He wants to take down the whole tea industry. Right?
Wow.
So at this stage of the situation in the UK, there are no Yorkshire tea bags left, right?
Oh wow.
Basically, he like that, you can't find them on the shelves anywhere.
Yeah.
There's a few left in evidence that have been picked up along the way. They're in the evidence in the Yorkshire Police Constabulary, wherever.
Yeah.
Right? But you can't get any on the shelves, right? He wants to take down the Yorkshire Tea Company, right? So there's no Yorkshire tea left. So they're all like, well, we've only got these ones in evidence, and whatever batch the Yorkshire Sipper.
Yorkshire Dipper.
I know.
That's a different one. That's a different version.
Teabagging means something totally different to the Yorkshire Dipper.
You're already making the porno version of your own film.
That's the selling point for this film. It's got its own porn in there. So the Yorkshire. So there's no. And why is it? Because they're not making any more Yorkshire tea, or people have panic bought it.
No, so basically they've just said, look, until we catch the killer, we can't produce any more tea.
Oh wow.
Because this is bad for our brand. You know, like if every time someone dies, they're associated with Yorkshire tea,
Yeah.
we're not going to sell any moving forward. So they were like, look, we're just going to put a ban on shipping anymore. So everyone's bought up whatever's left, and all that's left really is whatever this guy has, or this girl, or whoever this killer is, and what's in evidence.
What's in evidence?
That's it.
Okay, so the Yorkshire Sipper is on the loose.
On the loose.
He's afoot.
He's afoot. Things are heating up.
Things are heating up, and we have a visiting detective,
Pierre Deja.
He's going to be fucking furious. I've flown all the way from Gay Parry. Can't even get a goddamn cuppa
for a cup of tea.
This is right.
Yeah.
Right? So you can see how this is all pulling together. He's come over now for a little break. He wants to sip some of that brew, right? In more ways than one, right? But he wants a brew, right? And he gets here and he's like, I can't even get a brew, right? Then he realizes there's a serial killer on the loose, right? Who for some reason is called the Yorkshire Sipper and is using the brew on his victims. And he's like, I can help.
Who's he saying that to?
He talks to himself a lot.
Just in the street. It's just kind of people, I can help. And they're like,
he's
all right,
hoping to,
he's
like,
like,
the only way I'm going to get some goddamn tea is if I find one of those bodies.
Scrape it off of their face. Just rebrew it.
I shall put this into evidence.
That's really worrying. That's really worrying how your mind went to...
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately to, I've got to find the bodies as opposed to solving the crime.
Yeah, I think he's a menace.
Oh yeah. Pierre's got a little bit of the renegade in him.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
He
of course,
has.
yeah.
Think like it.
Little Rene.
He's suspended.
Renegade.
I like it.
His partner.
He's here. The Yorkshire Sipper is on the loose.
Right.
Pierre Deja is here to try and solve it, and Samantha Brew is also trying to
I remember.
is also trying to solve it. Do they meet?
Yes. Now this is the thing. Pierre Deja. He is. Excuse me. This is. Oh, I've got to clear my throat because even I'm getting excited.
I've got a little frog in my throat.
This episode is sponsored by France.
Specifically French stereotypes. So they basically Pierre is think Pink Panther, like you know, like he's a internationally renowned. People know of him. You know what I mean? So when they hear
Not Poirot.
Pink
Of all the famous French detectives.
Yeah, the mind goes where it goes, okay?
It sure does. To Yorkshire, apparently.
All right, Poirot. Yeah, but yeah, so when they hear he's in Yorkshire, it's like you know, it's a big deal. This is like a Hollywood A-lister turning up on your doorstep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in the detective world, right?
Yeah.
So Pierre's in Yorkshire. Everyone's like, God damn, man. He's
This is Leeds, England.
yeah. Well, you know,
He did say he's never been.
right. Well, you know, like, there's someone in Leeds who talks like this. They might not be from Leeds, but this person is from wherever this voice is.
You'll find him at the hospital.
Like, well, let's get this man in on the kiss. So, all right, they draft him in.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm suspended. I'm just here for the tea. And they're like, well, there is none. If you don't help us, you're not going to sip that brew.
Sweet brew.
And that's when Samantha walks in.
The sweet brew.
Speaking of brews.
Right. She walks in and he sees her. And there's a moment. You know those moments in a movie where it's like, okay, he's seen something he likes here. Right? Like this, like, and she sees him.
Yeah.
And she's repulsed.
Oh, classic.
Oh.
Yeah, classic. Like, you know, you got to kiss the frog to him turn to a prince type vibe.
Yeah.
But nevertheless.
The frog.
Yeah.
Being French.
Right.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
You see all the connections.
Yeah. France.
Ooh la la.
Oh, okay.
So that's where they meet for the first time.
First time.
And then, you know, she obviously is aware of him. You know, she used to look up to him when she was growing up. And she was like, oh, all the cases that he solved. And so for her to be able to work with him and for him to work with her, they were thinking we could crack this. But remember, he suffers from insomnia. She's an narcoleptic. How is this going to pan out?
I can see the poster, them two, arms folded back to back. Her asleep.
Just staring into the distance.
I love this. See, you lot could jump in on the marketing. You know what I mean? Like, you lot have already got this all
Got
played
all
out.
planned out.
Now, so this is basically where it starts from now. So they get together as a little team, and the idea is that they're going to work together to try and figure out who this killer is, right? Yorkshire Sipper.
Yorkshire Sipper.
Now, there's more characters in this movie though.
Oh, lovely.
Like, so I have to introduce to you Superintendent. I should remember his name really, but that's it. Superintendent Nibbles.
Nibbles.
All right.
He's a kitten.
Now, Superintendent.
Superintendent Nibbles.
Whatever you say, whoever you cast, I'm going to be picturing a kitten the entire time.
Oh well, this is going to be amazing then, because the thing about this character, so Superintendent Nibbles is played by Samuel L. Jackson.
Fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
He's Samuel L. And this is probably the toughest role yet for Samuel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Big Sam, as I like to call him.
Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bolton connection. But what it is, right? I like to, because he is a camp superintendent. Yeah.
Right.
But he's not gay. He's just really camp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Right?
Yeah.
Sparkle straight. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I learned that the other day.
Sparkles, I've never heard that one before, right? But the thing is, like, so he's just really camp. And so it's going to be a challenging role for Samuel because I don't think he's ever played a camp individual before.
Yeah.
But Superintendent Nibbles, he really...
Who is a kitten? Yeah.
Oh, Superintendent Nibbles. Yeah. One thing about him...
Meow, meow, motherfucker.
Meow, meow. That's got to be the strapline for the movie.
When you said that, it left you like an exorcism.
Oh,
you just sort of flew back in your chair.
Holding onto it like a tick.
Oh, I'm so glad you let it out. I mean, what would this podcast be if there was no meow, meow, motherfucker?
Tagline of this podcast.
That's all we've got. Okay, so we've got Samuel Jackson, who plays a camp Superintendent Nibbles.
Right.
And this is a role of a lifetime for Samuel Jackson.
It's the role of a lifetime. And the thing is, the reason that he has to really stretch himself for this one, right? Because the character loves musical theatre, right? And the thing is, every time he speaks or gives a brief to his detectives, he always does it in song. So he'll walk in and it'll be like, "There's been a murder!" Right?
Yes.
Someone's dead, someone's dead. Oh my God, someone's dead. Right? So you're getting the flavor now.
Yeah.
So you can see why this could be a stretch for Samuel because he's so used to playing like these hardened, you know.
Yeah.
Not here.
Yeah, it's tough to imagine. Yeah, I've got it. It's there, but the brain doesn't like it.
Yorkshire show tunes in a police station. I like it. I think the thing is, I can see it, and I like it. Okay, right. So Superintendent Nibbles comes in and announces.
He announces that Pierre Deja is here. And
how does he do that?
So he really composes himself because when he walks in, no one really thinks he's good. No one thinks he's gonna do it again.
Yeah,
like
he's got to be out of songs,
right?
He's got to.
Like,
does he have like a little tune? If you're like, oh, here
listen,
he goes.
This is a superintendent. He doesn't blow his own tuna. Someone's blowing it for him, right? So
He doesn't blow his own tuna. Is the best.
a horrible sentence out of context.
He doesn't blow his own tuna. Right, so who blows his tuna?
So like he gets one of like the young detectives, like who's one of
One of the interns.
one of the young misguided detectives.
Ironically, the T-boy. So
Sergeant Baxter, a note, please.
Okay, yeah. I told you there was comedy in this.
and I loved it. It gave it just the right
borderline
time.
offensive comedy relief.
So you didn't get out of this, by the way. How does he announce Sergeant Pierre Deja?
So all the detectives, they're all huddled in there. They're like, just sipping coffee and talking to each other. Going, Yorkshire sipper, I can't believe it, man. He's all over the place. And then like superintendent walks in, and he always walks in presence, a lot of presence, and serious. And then he just goes like, "Boys, girls, Pierre Deja is here," right? Because he's a camp. Like that's how he expresses himself.
Yeah,
There's no receptionist. just a very qualified man.
Right. And all the while, like
he's got 7 confirmed kills.
So
he announces Pierre Deja. He's in the building.
And Pierre, like when this song and stuff is going on, I mean, obviously he's French, he's cultured, but even he's a little bit like,
you should tone it down a little.
Why is Arnold Schwarzenegger here? That was actually better than my Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
I think it's fair to say that this is just a lot of questionable accents, but we get the gist of where we're going here.
At this point, this is one of the points in these films where I sit there and I imagine myself with a popcorn watching this going, what the fuck is going on?
But you can't turn it off.
No, this is a keeper honor.
It's another one where ambiguously we could be 15 minutes into the film or an hour and a half. No idea.
There's no
7
time
hours.
left.
That was okay.
This could be the second part, actually. This might be the sequel where we're at the moment.
We're already running into a sequel.
Oh.
Okay, so Nibbles has Superintendent Nibbles. Sorry, I don't want to. Has announced Pierre Desjardins. Pierre Desjardins has entered the room.
Right. So now it really gets down to it. They need to figure out where this serial killer is. They want to catch him. All right. And there's been a crime. So everyone's like, he's committed another murder. Yeah. Obviously now they're more like got British accents, like England, like South London. Cockneys are in there now. It basically it's a mishmash of a lot of different police forces that have come together in Leeds to help out.
Makes sense.
That gives me more artistic license with my even the Jamaican police have come over there. Yeah, boy, where the blood clot. Yorkshire sip of them. You want to find him blood seed. So,
right, Jim, your turn.
Go on, Jim.
Oh God, I can sing. I'll sing for you.
I'll sing.
Okay, right.
So, yeah.
All right. So we're in, and
right.
and we're
So now
into it.
it's their first opportunity to go out onto a crime scene together. Okay, and they both walk into the crime scene, and you know Pierre, he's doing his thing. You know, he's got a really weird, methodical kind of way of looking at crime scenes. You know, he touches stuff with gloves, of course. Or fingerprints.
He's got a very methodical way of ruining the evidence.
Right. He just kicks everything out of the way.
Starting to realise why he was suspended.
Sneezes.
Pisses in the corner and comes back.
It's part of my process.
So Pierre pisses on the evidence.
Right. And then, you know, at one point, because all the detectives and all the police officers, they're just waiting for that moment because Samantha always turns around. Like they have this scene, you know, when the camera, it's like it zooms in, but it pulls back at the same time to create that effect where you're zooming in on the person, but the background is like fading in. So that happens.
Is it called a dolly zoom?
I think it might be.
Yeah.
I think it might be.
There you go.
I knew a thing.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but like, you know.
It's so no more. Okay, so we've got to zoom in.
And then at that point, she looks to the camera and she says, "Somebody get me a brew."
It's tea time.
Right. Which is like, it's tea time because
Is that what Nibble says? It's tea time. Comes in with a full
Pushing a little tea tray.
Yes, a little tea tray. Yeah, full like old lady, like Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast.
I like it.
Okay,
Put
tea
that
time.
Put that on the paper. That's what happens. She says, "Get me a brew," and then Nibbles always comes in after with "It's tea time." I love it. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Let's make a movie, kids. Let's do it. I'm telling you guys, we got this in the bag.
Lovely teapot with a cozy on top.
There you go. So everyone's like, okay, because she's gonna be able to sip and then tell us what happened, you know. So she takes a sip, and then it all comes to her, and she's like, "Oh my gosh." She's out. Yeah. She's out. So now everyone's looking to Pierre. Yeah. And Pierre's like, I could figure out what's going to happen next. If only I could sleep. Because he's, you know, an insomniac.
Jet lagged.
Right. So what happens is they basically invest in some super strength sleeping pills for Pierre. Because they're like, we need to get to the bottom of this. Right. Yeah. And he starts to, unfortunately, develop a bit of an addiction to sleeping pills. Oh, yeah. So basically, what's happened is the best two detectives on the case now, they're just sleeping all the time. like everyone's waiting. Like, they're waiting for her to wake up so they can find out what happened in the past. Okay. And they're waiting for him to wake up so that they can say when the next murder's going to happen. Meanwhile, the murders just keep on happening.
How long are they asleep?
Can we have a scene where the press are questioning them? Like, Why have you not found the killers? Are you not doing any police work? And they just point to their two sleeping. Like, what does it look like we're doing?
We're trying our hardest.
They're all tucked in.
We've got our best men on the case.
All tucked in. Nibbles is coming and seeing to them, like making sure.
Little kiss on the forehead.
Right.
Yeah, fluffing the teddy bears. Okay.
Anyway.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So meanwhile, the Sipper is just out there, just creating havoc on the streets of Yorkshire. And tea is being sprinkled all over the place. And at this stage, everyone's like, where is he getting the tea from? Because now it's been confirmed. There's no more tea left in Yorkshire apart from what's in evidence.
Oh.
Can we see? Can we feel this now?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Of course, with all of these movies, what happens is they find someone that they think is the killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enter. Hold on 1 second.
What's that?
Enter Steve McFadden.
Steve
Nice,
McFadden.
okay.
Do we know Steve?
No.
This is Steve McFadden. Is that Phil Mitchell?
Yes.
Oh,
He's my bald brother. we know each other.
Now I feel like he's never really been given an opportunity to play on the big screen.
Oh no.
You know?
There's a reason.
But this is his opportunity. Yeah, he comes in and everyone's like, oh, Phil, we found the Sipper. We found him. And they get him into the interview room and they start interviewing him. And he's so brain frazzled that he just keeps talking about EastEnders.
Is he playing himself?
No, like, he's supposed to be the Sipper.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He's been given lines. But every time they're like, where were you last night? He's like, I was down to Queen Vic. Me and my brother. Can't stand that guy. Right? And every time, like, the actors are trying to get him back on. I was going to be like,
Yeah.
okay. But what about the murders? And he's like, oh, I should have murdered Sharon. Everyone's just looking at themselves like, what's going on here? Yeah. So they realize it can't be him. I mean, he's clearly lost his mind.
This hasn't worked. This hasn't worked at all.
Again, like at the press conference, if you caught some, we got Steve McFadden in, and he's fucked. He's absolutely fucked. He could.
He's in Panto next week. I don't think he's going to do it.
Have you seen? There's a meme of him doing a little dance at a panto, and it's like when Phil's got to try and find 50 grand in a week. He's like doing this little shitty dance.
That's so harsh, man.
That's what this podcast become, describing memes that we've seen on Instagram.
I am available for Panto.
Wait, hold on. Real question. Have either of you ever done Panto?
No, we've been in it. No.
Yeah.
No.
I was the ghost of Christmas present in my school play in year 6.
Oh.
Right. We'll unpack that later.
Sensational.
I feel like there's some scars there.
Are you in Panto?
No, I never done Panto. I would do it because it's fun. And one day I'll need the money.
Fuck it, let's do our own Panto.
Oh yeah, we'll do a Panto. Christmas special.
Pitch it Panto.
You know what? There you go. I'm just giving you lot ideas now. Look, it's no longer about me anymore. It's like, let me just give you lot podcast ideas.
The only improvised Panto, which is everyone loves to see live improv comedy. Yeah. I mean, they really don't. So
we are going to Edinburgh.
Get your tickets now. So yeah, anyway. So like you said, so they bring in Steve McFadden and like they're like, nah, it wasn't him.
Dead end.
Meanwhile, Deja and Samantha, they're just still sleeping, right?
Wow, days.
Right. But we're coming to the climax of the movie now.
Lovely.
Right, we're getting there. And hopefully we're still good for time because this is going to knock your socks off.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So anyway, finally, they wake up. Okay, they wake up. And as they wake up, there's a moment where like they simultaneously like wake up at the same time and they look in each other's eyes. And that denotes that there's going to be a love interest at some point between the two of them. But right now, it's still about the Sipper. Mm-hmm. We need to find the Sipper. All right. Obviously. So now they're like, well, what did you dream? And Pierre's like, well, what do you dream? All right.
Yeah.
Now remember, she's dreamt the past and he's dreamt the future.
Oh, nice.
So she's detailing everything that she's seen from that room, right? Giving information about where the sipper might strike next. But he's seen the future. And Pierre, they zoom in, a single teardrop from his eye, because he knows who the next murder is going to be.
No, don't you dare.
Oh,
That's right.
Stephen McFadden.
Yeah, the bit part bad character.
Loved. He's loved.
Found dead doing his little dance. I am entertained.
Who's our victim?
He looks in the camera and he says, no. No. It can't be.
Impossible.
Impossible.
Indeed.
He says, it can't be true. And then he looks into her eyes and he goes, it can't be Brew.
Oh no.
Very good.
It's
Very
gonna.
good. Yeah.
He knows she's up next.
Yeah.
Right. She's up next. So they have to catch this killer before it happens to her. All right.
Yeah.
So now they start putting their heads together and they're like, but we're all out of Yorkshire tea. Like, who could it possibly be?
Yeah.
Everyone's dying and they're being entertained to death. They're all dying with smiles on their face like this, with their hands up like it's show tunes. Their ears are perforated.
Yeah.
Who could it be?
It's not. It's not, is it?
It's Nibbles!
Yeah. Nibbles! Nibbles, you bastard!
I haven't trusted that cat since the start.
It's Nibbles! Oh my! Hello! How could you not see me?
I can't believe you offers a doofy us.
Does he take off his little like penny from Tea Time? He's like, yeah, it was me the whole fucking time.
Oh man!
Takes his mask off. It's Russell Crowe.
They just keep taking masks off. Like, you know,
C'est nible.
Oh,
Okay,
bless.
so it's Nibbles. Nibbles is the murderer.
So they realize Nibbles is the murderer, but now you got to catch him.
Right. Okay.
This is the thing, you know, because Nibbles.
Nibbles.
You don't find, mate. This is cast iron plot.
Because Nibbles has a superpower of his own.
Oh, really?
Yep.
He's a ghost. No, sorry. sorry.
Well, I kind of have backed myself into a corner, so maybe this is the time to pull that ace.
Time for the ace of the sleeve.
Out of the back pocket. Nibbles wasn't alive all along. No, so they have to catch Nibbles, and this is where you make up a plot on the fly.
My favourite part of every episode.
Right. Nibbles has a superpower of his own.
What's his?
They don't
superpower?
call him Nibbles for nothing. Right?
I did wonder. What does he nibble?
Right. So whenever Nibbles,
You can do this, I believe.
whenever Nibbles dips his biscuit in tea, it has to be a rich tea, and he has to catch it just at the right time before it breaks off and goes into the bottom of the cup.
These are the worst X-Men I've ever heard.
That's the Z-Men.
Yeah.
It's the T-Men.
The T-Men. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrific.
So,
okay,
like-
so
Right. Whenever he catches it at the right time, he can sense when there's danger and when there's people onto him. Right? But it's frustrating because his timing is so off. So he'll be like...
so he's constantly just holding biscuits and tea.
he's got boxes and boxes of rich tea.
Just constantly. Oh.
And he's like, damn. And then he'll hold another one and nearly get it. Then as soon as he gets, like, falls down, honestly, he goes through boxes all day trying to...
Just to remind everyone, this is Samuel L. Jackson. Who camply cannot dunk a rich tea for the right amount of time.
Remember what I said? toughest role ever.
Yeah.
Right? You know, Pulp Fiction, like, you know,
Yeah.
all of those. This is nothing compared to what he's gonna have to embody right now in this movie. I'm telling you.
Okay. Right. So at this particular point, does he happen to be dipping his rich tea biscuits?
Yes, he's dipping the rich tea, and he gets it. And there's tension, you know, there's a build up of tension because we've seen him drop so many of the soggy biscuits. And I know that might mean something very different for you rugby fellas over there. Right? But he finally, like, tension builds up, and he finally gets it. And now he can sense they know, and they're coming for him. Yeah. So what he does, he tries to set up the most elaborate performance in the police station. Yeah. Just to set a diversion for him to get out. But it's too late.
Right.
Because Deja and Brew have been able to put their minds together. And they get him.
And they get him. Yeah.
They get him. They get him. He tried, and he's trying to throw all these shapes, and he's doing twists and twirls, right? Because like everyone's trying to grab him, but he's like professional dance for musical theatre. So he's like light on his feet, and he's twisting and turning, and he's doing all of these high pitched notes and perforating eardrums everywhere, right? But.
High kicks.
Yeah, people are losing. People's chins are getting broken and necks are being displaced. And everyone's like, Nibbles!
I'll get you, Nibbles, if it's the last thing I do.
And he's taking out rich tea biscuits and throwing them like discs and then catching people in the eyes.
I just like the idea of one of those biscuits hitting the side of a cup and Stephen Fadden sitting there like, oh, I'll have one of those.
Can he throw a cup of tea into Samantha's mouth so she falls asleep?
he's
night,
trying.
night.
No,
It's tea time.
It's tea time. It's tea time. Yeah. He hits her with the it's tea time.
This is just absolute chaos. Just that. I want to be so sad that I'm looking through the window. What the fuck is going on in there?
I think Sergeant Nibbles just threw tea into Samantha's face.
Yeah, you got to have that scene, that little cutaway scene where there's a big glass window and craziness is taking place behind it, but then there's just someone who's sitting there with their back to everything, and like you know, there's a shot of like all of these things happening. They're just oblivious to it. Like we'll get that shot in there.
Yeah,
we'll make sure. We
and they're
get
listening to like 90s tunes on some headphones.
Yeah,
yeah.
some
Darude
Spice
Sandstorm.
Girls.
I like the idea that's playing whilst that's happening, but a show tune version.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so how does the fight?
Right.
How does the fight? How do they get him?
So basically, they finally like they tackle him to the ground, and he tries to hit a high note because that's how he's been killing everyone with this high pitched note from one of his favorite songs,
Which is
Witches? Don't think I've seen that one.
yeah, great song.
which it's a ABBA.
Nice.
It's a Dancing Queen. And he usually gets them with you can dance.
Samuel L. Jackson, everyone. Just again.
Yeah.
Okay,
But as soon as he goes to go, "Yeah," and
it's like having the time of your death.
and you don't. No one sees it coming, but someone just whacks like a whole load of rich tea biscuits right into his mouth. Like you know, he's just like, and then they put duct tape over his mouth, and then they're like, "You've been brewed." No, sorry. No, there you go. And then like Pierre says, "No, you've been deja brewed."
Deja brew.
Right.
I want to point out right at the beginning here, I wrote Deja Brew.
Yeah, as soon as you said deja, I went, it's going to be deja brew, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm that transparent.
Actually, when you originally introduced deja, I thought it was going to be deja vu,
Yeah.
V-O-U-S.
Oh. You see, I had a few different ideas. I was like, go deja brew, deja who, deja true, and then I was like, actually,
Deja.
I want I want this tea to play a big role in this movie. And if you come away from this movie not liking tea, something's wrong with you.
Sponsored by Yorkshire Tea.
Ironically, PG Tips.
Yeah, sponsored by Yorkshire. Get it down, yeah.
What is the film called?
No, actually, firstly, I want to see.
Sorry, you go.
I want to see. Obviously, commendations need to be given out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
He's not suspended anymore.
No, I mean, this news has got back to France. And, like, you know, the equivalent superintendent in France, who, for some reason, also loves musical theatre, right?
René Gade, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Superintendent René Gade.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I know I should have never suspended that deja. He is the best.
Has he had a stroke?
He's just had a heavy night. Yeah. He was doing a lot of dancing, a lot of singing last night. You know, he had a tough
Down at
one.
Moulin Rouge.
Feeling a bit tender after that Moulin Rouge date. So they fly him back, you know. But they fly him back to France, right? And there he goes. He private plane, yeah. Pulls up on the runway. Everyone's there, like, you know, guard of honor and everything. And then 1 foot out of the plane. Is it Deja? No. It's a high heel stiletto.
Oh.
It's Samantha Brew.
Samantha Brew.
Yeah, sorry, I thought.
Who do you think it was?
Nibbles.
Nibbles has escaped.
It's Nibbles. He's back and better than ever. So this is the love story. They're together now.
They're
right?
together.
They're together, and now, you know, they turn up and they get their commendations, but the relationship is doomed to fail because
one can sleep and one can't.
right. And whenever they do sleep, like, one sees the past, one sees the future. So Deja, he sees the future. Whenever he gets a wink, he knows she's gonna cheat on him. Because he's like, oh, I'm so old and decrepit. You know?
Why is she with me? I am a terrible person.
But, you know, they enjoy it for the time.
They ignore it for a little while.
Yeah, they just have a good time. You know, they go walk around France and Champs-Elysees and, you know, Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah.
The Eiffel Tower, any other landmarks I can think of.
Mona Lisa, you know, all the hits.
Catacombs.
Down the Louvre.
Down our Louvre. I think more romantic subplots should end with just it's all doomed to fail, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Roll credits.
Yeah.
Oh, bless. So yeah, they get commendations, and then there's this question of, obviously, is there going to be a sequel?
There is, isn't it?
Is there going to be a sequel?
Will you come back and do a sequel for us?
Well, you know, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean,
No, this was really bad.
This level of artistic talent and ability. I mean, sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle, and you just have to admire it and be like, maybe that's a one-off. But hey, maybe not.
Roman, what's the name of this film?
The name of the film is Deja Brew.
Deja Brew.
Deja Brew. Although it could really be called Leeds, or It's Tea Time. Like, there's so many titles that we could have.
With the tagline, it's tea time.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah.
There we go.
We need a poster.
Yeah, I'll have to get back on the posters.
Yeah, I'm gonna get onto that when I get home.
I'd like
right away.
I'd like as well as the credits roll to see a quick flash into Nibbles in prison, where like trouble's coming, but he's got no tea, he's got no biscuits to
feel it.
Oh,
Dark, isn't it? Yeah. He's about to get shanked in prison, but he doesn't know because they won't give him rich tea.
There's no rich tea. They just keep giving him hobnob. And custard creams and bourbons, and he's like, nah.
Prison sounds tasty.
Yeah, Jim's about to go commit crime.
I want biscuits.
Please.
That's the worst thing about prison, isn't it? Only custard creams.
Yeah.
Inhumane.
It is. Someone get onto the...
Rowan, would you like to hear your film back?
I don't know. No, let's do it. I want to hear it. Let's go.
This is a thriller, detective, comedy, supernatural movie set in Leeds in the 1990s. Could have been set any time. But
Thanks.
Why would that guy be listening to Darude Sandstorm if it wasn't the 90s?
yeah, classic. So we open in France with Pierre Dejar, played by Vincent Cassel. Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
He's smoking, drinking wine, eating cheese. He's, being French, listening to Jean-Paul Sartre's
Gobbling some brie.
gobbling some brie. Yeah, the whole.
Yeah.
He's just surrounded by little Eiffel Tower statues.
So not on again.
And he's dishevelled because he's got a letter that says suspended on it.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to be a policeman. And then we also meet then Samantha Brew, who is played by Zoe Kravitz. She has the worst Yorkshire accent we've ever heard.
It's a mix.
It's a mix.
There's a lot going on.
Too many cooks spoiled the brew on that one. But and there's she comes from a dynasty, a detective brew dynasty, and they all have a superpower that when she drinks Yorkshire tea, she can see the past.
That's
but
right.
she is narcoleptic. She falls asleep, so you have to wait for her to wake up
That's right.
when she's doing it. Pierre dreams the future.
This is right.
But he's an insomniac.
What are the chances?
So he's loaded up on lasagnas to keep him right.
Yeah.
By the way, he has an English mother.
Yes. Yeah. We didn't delve into the mother that much. But
we
that's
knew.
for the sequel.
Oh, wow, like a prequel.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Yeah.
La
Yeah.
Mayor. So
Well done.
yeah, it's right, isn't it? So yeah, I did. So because of this, his mum is from Yorkshire, and he decides he wants a cup of tea. Globalization isn't a thing in the 90s. There's no such thing as exports.
No. Yeah,
he must go back to Yorkshire for a
And he
cup
wants
of
to
tea.
sniff the air. He
He wants a sniff.
He wants
yeah.
to really embrace that roots.
He's Yorkshire root.
Yorkshire roots.
As he arrives,
Yeah.
there's a string of murders. There's a serial killer on the loose. And everyone looks entertained when they die. At first, I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
Robbie Williams.
I thought it was really like Russell Crowe, the Gladiator.
Oh.
I don't know
Yeah.
We find out that this serial killer is called the Yorkshire Sipper.
That's right.
And
Not Dipper.
not Dipper.
Yep.
Yorkshire Sipper. No, that's for the porn version with the teabagging.
Yeah, that is a totally different movie there, mate.
Oh, quite the thing I was on the mind there. So got the Freudian slip. So the Yorkshire Sipper has caused all of the tea because he leaves tea leaves on his victim. He
Right.
sprinkles them, and because of this, the Yorkshire tea don't want all the bad press, and they've just pulled everything off the shelves.
Right.
And the only tea that is available is in the evidence locker.
It's in the evidence locker.
of the police station.
Yep.
At this point, we meet. At this point, we meet Superintendent Nibbles,
Nibbles.
who's played Nibbles, who is a very camp show tune singing, dancing
Musical theatre lover.
musical theatre played by the great Samuel L. Jackson.
That's right, motherfucker.
And
meow, meow, motherfucker.
that with no reference to the cat, that's his tagline.
No. Say tea again.
I dare you. I triple dare you. Yeah, no reference to the cat. That's just what he says.
Just says it. It was like, what?
Meow, but his cat, remember? Meow, meow.
Oh yeah, he's cat.
Motherfucker.
Does he like purring around?
Yeah.
Oh, you calm down, you.
when he's really angry, he just goes.
Cats do that when they're happy.
Yeah, but this is Nibbles.
He's not a cat.
He does it when he's angry. You don't like him when he's angry.
It's so complex.
It's disappointing that Nibbles is the most complex character we've had on this podcast.
His name's Nibbles. Okay. So he serves tea to we introduce Samantha and Pierre in the same room, and he fancies her a little bit. She don't fancy.
Yeah,
him.
she's not on it that much right now.
And they both decide that they're going to. Oh wait, actually, Nibbles serves tea on a little trolley and has an intern blow his tuna.
Cats like tuna.
Yeah. It's all consensual.
It's just so many cat undertones. Okay, so at this point, I put someone get me. I don't know what that means.
It is weird that he gives, like, he knows he's the killer, and he gives tea to a person who can see the future and see the past if they drink tea. He brings them tea.
Right, but if he didn't, then people would be like, "Well, what's going on, Nibs?
Nibs, you
Like,
love tea time.
Yeah, why are you?
He'd just be throwing
you
a
always
tantrum.
bring the tea. Why are you bringing the tea now? You know, so he has to keep up the guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Does it?
Oh, yeah. I thought he wasn't gay.
Okay, right. So at this point, then we bring in our first suspect, Steve McFadden, who's completely confused about where he is. Just keeps talking about EastEnders.
Yeah, he's been on the show so long, he can't play any other role. He's tried to give him a chance in this blockbuster, but he wasn't having it.
At this point now, we then summon the superpowers of our two protagonists.
Yes.
Who they give they give a cup of tea to Samantha, and then a cup of tea to Pierre, but also loads of sleeping pills.
Yeah.
And then they are asleep for a long time.
Enough time for a couple of murders to be committed.
And during this, they are presented asleep at a press conference. And
Yeah.
That wasn't part of my direction, but you're producers, so I allow you to have a bit of license.
Yeah, that's me adding it in.
producers.
You know how that producers ruin everything. Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Now, they both wake up.
Right.
They both wake up and they both realize who the killer is between them, because the next victim is going to be Samantha.
Brew.
We won't go into the mechanics of time travel, where he's seen into the future and it's happened, and whether current events can change that.
Yep.
Because the killer is Nibbles.
That's right.
The killer is Nibbles, who is sensing trouble afoot.
Nipples?
Does he Nibbles?
Yeah.
I tell you.
I had nipples.
Jim, I tell you, I don't know where your mind's at. Get it out the gutter, mate.
Yorkshire stripper, nipples.
It's been a while. So Nibbles is he's detected trouble with his rich tea that's broken into his magic power is.
Yeah.
He
has to nibble on the rich tea before it breaks.
Before it
But
breaks.
it has to be dipped into tea.
Has to be
first.
dipped into the tea. And he realises trouble's coming.
Yeah, he catches it just in time.
I've written soggy biscuit. And then that's it. So they storm the room, and he's kicking and flipping and singing and
Yep.
chipping.
He's doing everything he can.
Yeah,
everything he can to get away.
to try. And as well, there's like a little scene of a guy with his headphones on and this around in the background.
Yep. Classic scene.
And we also find out at this point as well, like the way that he kills people is by singing the high note in ABBA.
Dancing Queen.
Dancing Queen.
Yeah. You can dance, you can jive. and he's just about to do it.
And they jump on him and they shovel the rich tea in and sellotape.
And gaffer tape
There
over
he
his
is.
mouth.
He's been subdued.
Yeah.
And they go,
Subbrewed.
"You've been brewed." Subbrewed. I love
Suspended.
it. Suspended. And then that's it. And then they throw him in jail.
That's it.
And then
Where he never gets a rich tea again.
we never gets again. Where our two detectives fall in love and go to Paris, walk around all the Paris stuff, Disneyland Paris. It wasn't open in the 90s, was it? Don't matter.
Yep.
All that stuff, and then they realise, because they both see each other cheating and remembering everything from past arguments,
They know
it's doomed.
it's only a matter of time. But nevertheless, we're left with a bit of a cliffhanger, wondering, are they going to come back and do it again? You know?
They've got to.
Well, we'll let you listeners be the judge of that.
They're still here.
Yeah.
The sequel, Tea for Two.
Tea for two.
Love it.
And then the film ends.
That's it. Roll
Loved it.
credits.
Are we going to make this film?
Oh, mate, yeah,
This
absolutely.
is-
I loved it. Yeah.
This has been brilliant,
Yeah,
Roman.
fantastic,
Absolutely
yeah.
brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, bless you.
Where can we find you on the socials? And are you doing anything that we should come see?
I've got a podcast myself. It's called Eulogize Me, where I get guests to write their own eulogy, and then we read it on the podcast, and I interview them based on what they've written. So it's a little bit funny, but a little bit deep and meaningful. So you can
nice.
check that out. Find me on the socials at Hardy Ha Ha. I really should change that handle. It'd be so much easier to just be at Roman Harris. But,
Is that what it taken, was it?
Don't you dare change it.
But yeah, just find me at Hardy Ha Ha. Ha Ha spelt with 2 A's a piece. There's not really much coming up. I mean, gigs around London, not really doing Edinburgh this year, but I know you guys are heading up there. Best of luck up there. Have a great time.
Thank
You're
you
going to
very
smash it.
Smash something. Not people.
I don't know, you looked at me. I don't know.
These sexual innuendo references are getting more and more.
I know. We'll be getting closer every episode.
But yeah, that's pretty much it about me. Yeah, that's where you can find me. But yeah.
Thank you very much, and keep an eye on Roman's socials because it's an absolute treat to see you live. It's so much fun, and also you are the most positive guy in the world as well, which is lovely as well. It's lovely to get your positivity through the Instagram.
It's all a ruse. Yeah. But in the vein of positivity, may I just give you both some flowers and say, having started a podcast myself, I know how hard it is and how much work goes into it. But you got a great thing here. Like, I really love the concept. Like I said, I've listened to a couple of episodes already. It's a pleasure to have been on it, and I just wish you lot all the best with it. Keep doing it, and keep enjoying it.
Oh, thank you.
You've massively overstated how much work we do.
I cannot stress how little input I have into this. I just turn up, chat shite, ruin people's film ideas, and then leave.
Hey, sometimes that's hard enough.
Thank you so much, and as well, thank you everyone for coming to our show, the Museum of Comedy. But we've got 3 live shows at the Gilded Balloon up at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe on the 24th, 25th, 26th, and we can talk about our guests. So our first guest is going to be friend of the show, Carwyn Blaney.
I thought you were looking at me to do an impression. Sorry. I was like, well, Carwyn's coming back to the show. Sorry, Carwyn, don't listen.
Second one, Mandeep Singh.
Mandeep's coming.
Mandeep's coming. Who's on remember Mandeep's first ever episode, and of course for our Christmas episode, the absolutely wonderful Charlie Vero Martin. So
Alfie Puddings.
Alfie Puddings, yeah. So come and see the shows in Edinburgh if you're up there, because you obviously need to be there. But thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.